Brought to you by Professional Program Insurance.
I like your bike.
So we're here with Billy Jack Gunter, correct?
Gunter.
Mr. Gunter. With cool. All right, make sure we get that right. All right. So we're in. This considered Dallas?
Yes, sir. Dallas,
It is
Texas.
considered Dallas, Texas. Okay. All right. So you have a few shops, you know?
Yes.
Okay. Are they both in the same general area?
I have one in downtown Dallas, and then this is North Dallas. So.
Okay, North Dallas. All right. I guess we'll start with what prompted you to begin tattooing in general. I mean, what was the kicker for you, bro? What actually brought you into this?
It pretty much. I mean, like my start came with skateboarding is where it all came from. That's where my the most people I seen tattooed, like heavily tattooed, were all pro skaters, and that was the direction I was trying to go when I was a kid, you know. So I grew up in the tattoo world. My older brother was a tattooer, but it was scratcher style, serious scratcher style. You know what I'm saying? So it was something that I was around my whole life, but I didn't see it as a positive way to go. You know what I mean? I seen it as a fucking raging lifestyle, which I mean it is, you know. But once I got away from my family and got into a studio environment with real artists, that's when the door opened for me, you know. So
Yeah, it helps to be around people that have some knowledge. Yeah.
I'm thankful for all the bad shit I seen as well. You know what I mean? It helped guide me and keep me from fucking up real bad. You know, my example was a horrible example in a great example in the same thing. You know, so.
Well, I hope a lot of people have learned from my bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, I've been through enough. They all know what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I'd say your first tattoo convention. Do you remember
First show ever.
which one you did first?
The very first convention I ever went to was Detroit, back when it was Cobo Hall convention. That was the first one I ever attended. And then the first convention I ever worked was the Memphis Tattoo Company through Memphis and New Orleans, were the two shows.
The Voodoo.
Yeah, Voodoo Fest back in 2000.
Nice. Cool, man. All right. What about your first trophy? Where'd you pick up your first trophy at?
My first trophy was actually from Lone Wolf Body Art Expo in Nashville, Tennessee. Ben Dixon's show. They were all kind of linked together. And then my second award was actually Voodoo Fest.
Okay, so what was the first award for?
It was for a back piece on a girl. It was like a abstract butterfly tribal looking type thing, actually. Far from the style I do today, for sure.
Right, evolution.
Yeah.
At its best.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what do you find that's the hardest thing about owning a tattoo shop?
Dealing with the kids. Like, I have 16 artists that work for me right now, and the hardest thing is just juggling between the loyalty and the fake. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard when you deal with that broad spectrum, that many different people. It's hard, and then when you have a crew that's epic, that works great together, Now you got to deal with their personal problems with each other. You know what I mean? It's just a web of drama. You know what I mean? That's the hardest part, but it's epic too. You know what I mean? I wouldn't trade it for anything else ever. You know, having as many artists as I have, it allows all of them to travel, allows everybody to do shows. You know what I mean? And you know me, I'm big about that. So, you know, I don't think I could run a studio with 3 or 4 guys. I don't think it'd be possible.
Not if everybody wants to travel.
I can't lock people down like that. It's just not my style. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to want to go and see the things I've seen and be the shows I've done and feel what it feels like to win. You know what I mean? And I want that for my guys as well. You know?
Yeah, it helps. It helps keep you moving forward and striving for better.
Definitely.
You know,
yeah.
especially if you're going to continue to go. You know, yeah. All right, so, let's go with who are your favorite people to kind of follow their work in the tattoo industry? Who is your...
The biggest influence, I will always say this, the biggest influence I ever had in my career was St. Mark. He used to own New Breed and Skinquake in Indianapolis. And this was 12 years ago when I was hanging out with him. And still to this day, I've learned from so many artists. There's so many badass artists, you know what I mean? I would say my favorite 2 artists right now would be Roman and Liz Cook. Just for their, you know what I mean, their styles are so much different, but they still have that portrait style, yet they'll draw their ass off, you know what I mean? I love Nico, and there's so many thousands of just badass artists, you know what I mean? And then black and gray level, I would say Bob Tyrell is definitely my pick for that, you know what I mean? So, but
Cool. That's a lot of, there's a lot of influence there. I can see that. Okay, so if you could go tattoo anywhere in the world right now, where do you think you would wind up?
Australia.
Australia?
Yes, sir.
And what's the reason for that?
Aside from getting kicked by a kangaroo, I've been infatuated with that place since I've been a child, you know what I mean? Like, if I was a little kid, I wanted to move there just so I could get that accent. You know what I mean? Like, just always been infatuated with the whole place, you know what I mean? I'd probably get over there and get bit by a snake or some shit, no my luck, but I think that's a big goal of mine, is to go there and tattoo.
Okay, well, the guy that's carrying our show is from there, so we might be able to arrange that shit.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
We'll do the kangaroo boxing at the end of the trip, though. If I go. Yeah. So.
I know those fuckers kick pretty
Yeah,
good, dog.
that's
So
what
you
I
better
hear.
take a cup.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to the general public when it comes to finding someplace or somebody to give them their first tattoo?
Just research, man. Like, it's not hard, you know what I mean? Like, don't make the big mistake of walking into a tattoo establishment and expecting every single artist to do exactly what you're looking for. You know, it doesn't take that much time to flip through some portfolios, figure out who's the best for you, and have a consultation with them, you know? People that are impatient, that's where bad tattoos come from, I think. Spur of the moment, you can get good tattoos if you like little pork chop tattoos. There's nothing wrong. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, I'm not going to tell you not to pick flash. Just don't be pissed when the dude at the store has the same tattoo, you know what I mean? So, whatever circumstances you're looking for, if you're trying to get a really good tattoo, it's best to research the artist that's going to actually touch you with a needle.
You never know who you'll wind up with.
Right.
If you don't.
In my opinion, there's a lot of big names everywhere, but at the same time, for every big name artist, there's 10 badasses that no one really knows about, you know what I mean? So just because you're in a small area or a big city doesn't matter. There's badasses everywhere, so you just look for it, you'll find it, you know?
Yeah, well, the newest place to find them is the Tattoo Directory on Tattooing TV. So and they got a big ass map. You just hit the area where you're looking, and you can set the radius, and it'll give you everybody that's registered on there. Nice. And you just go through and look at their portfolio, their everything. So like that's one of the things that we're working on with doing this.
Nice.
Is spreading the word on that. So, you know, we try to get everybody hooked up, you know, and everybody in the right direction, you know.
Hell yeah, jump on a plane too. You know what I mean? Like traveling to get tattooed is always an epic experience, you know?
Yep. I've had a couple people fly in from like Connecticut and New York and come and see me in LA when I was there, and like posted up and actually had a shop and everything, you know.
Nice.
So they actually will travel. So, you know, they find the right person to do what they're looking for, that they will jump on a plane and not think twice about it, because they're going to be happy. I know you guys have a big ass airport right here. So, yep, Dallas, North Dallas.
Fly out here to see me, I'll see one of my friends.
Alright, cool, man. Take your time, buddy, and we'll get a minute and try to get a couple of the other boys and get them to talk about what they do and see, you know, who gets what first.
Thanks for taking us to the
No problem, buddy. What is your name, yeah?
I'm Jordan.
Jordan? Hey, you don't have to give me your last name if you don't want to. We can leave that part out.
I like your journaling.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've had it for like 5 years now.
I've never seen one like that.
Brought to you by Professional Program Insurance.
I think I lost my beer.